Basketball over yet?
No.
There's only about a 10-second delay trying to look at it live on YouTube.
I never heard it. I
Three more weeks.
So 4 more
When
games?
I heard it,
Yep.
I could hear
I had
it.
to ask me, one time I thought it was a couple months.
Any problems?
Well,
Me too.
I know the record don't show that. That don't
I mean,
let
it's
me.
not fair, man, but he knows how to get to it.
Sometimes whichever, he's in a hurry.
Trying to get heats and
I
everything.
think you count 5 games for 7 missing
Where
layups.
it's live, someone call up and ask a question.
We won 5 more.
So you're playing like how you do,
10-second
right?
delay.
Yep. This layup.
You'd be all,
That's what killed us.
Yeah.
but it will be on there, so I can go back and.
Literally
Free throws.
wide open.
According to her,
Like, it's not
we
even
want
like
something
they were
that
contested.
makes a
Like,
little
layups, it was
noise, got a little
wide open
leg,
layups, could have won 5 more games.
but,
Nothing too
Good
excessive.
God.
yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Well, he's saying that.
What do you-
Depends on who's
That
on
didn't
drive.
fix that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
If you
it's
can't
I mean,
hear
you
it,
can
it ain't that, it ain't no
Oh,
Well,
good.
you practice layups until they fall down, but they're gonna make them when.
yeah, they're gonna make them in practice, yeah.
She would enjoy it back
That's
in the day.
exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 5
Sometimes it just
5
swings
more
that way,
games.
that's why I asked if it was very strong. I know the record doesn't say it, you know.
That would play a really tough schedule too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I might have to bring my,
wow.
get up in here.
I sold it to Daryl.
Okay.
Later on.
Okay.
That's the new alarm.
He told
Oh,
me.
you switched it.
Grayson Dolly Hughes.
No, that's the one
Really?
for the out
I can
there.
remember him going
Oh.
from the, well, what would be the middle school side of the parking lot.
I got it.
Mhm.
For the window.
He comes flying in the parking lot, and hit ice and snow, and he.
Oh, I bet.
done, he cranked it, turned the wheel, and
I bet he ain't got
got
down
his back.
Code.
Him and Mr. Lawson had a talk
I
that.
bet you nigga, I don't know the code, probably walking around.
No, he was fine.
It was one of them, as soon as the bell rang.
We say,
Jay's fine.
I'm not out there.
Oh,
first.
Probably his.
That probably was the first time.
Where's any money?
First-
The door was cracked.
Outside on tractor.
Nope, not even.
Hello, how are you? Good. He said he was out of the shop. He worked late today.
Thank you.
It's fine.
What's that? Heck, they got me down to 40. I've never been cut, ever. Down to 40 hours a week, 4 days a week. So they need to do this during summertime.
They don't have to be to go Wednesday, we don't have.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we can. Do we need to say anything because we have the guests not showing up? Or we can just talk about it.
Here, Billy.
Yeah, that's at the very end. Yep, cool. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Dakota, excuse me, she did want to see if it could, if Bill, could possibly be voted on tonight if y'all, but I didn't get the paper.
I don't know what we need to vote on, so that'll be something we need to ask. They didn't come to us the last time they had one, so I don't really know what needs to be voted on here.
See, that wasn't her. But
Well, whatever happened out there, I don't know.
We had.
Huh?
Oh,
This part? I mean, that's what I'm saying. So after she explains it,
That's what I was
I don't know.
Yeah, I checked the statute, and you can meet during a holiday.
It might, like she said, it might not be the same thing that happened out there, the music
Count
festival
the
thing.
holiday for
Might have been
notice.
somebody else.
So if it's 48 hours, 2 days,
I don't
you
know.
can't count the holiday.
It's 'cause you can't figure
So
out anything.
you can, as far as I understand, you can.
So
I don't think it is. So that's all right. But she's all like some of that.
So this,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
some.
You meet next Monday?
This is the first time.
Oh, on this part of it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll see it now.
Okay.
Flag dedication ceremony.
Why they did
Yeah,
it?
city park.
Oh, I think, again, I think that's a real business. I mean, I double checked. the
Also,
statute. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Just one more. Yeah.
let's see, the fair one is all 7 weeks, correct?
It is outside, yes.
Okay, because they didn't have to come to the county.
No, not for that one.
Because of fairground.
Other than, they did have to come to us for some of the
For
support.
everything.
like
Yeah.
roads.
Well, we asked about that.
The camping and the roads,
Yeah.
'cause they closed a couple down 12th Street.
Also,
I know
doing
they
this
did
stuff
that.
with Annie's and them
Which I
also.
didn't have nothing to do with that either, but the camping they asked about, because we talked about it in one of the meetings and everything. Remember you met us down
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Because I told them that, that'd be something.
Can be a newsie with that. You know, 'cause it was a news.
Yeah, that's where it's higher, and the drain is right there.
Alright, we'll call to order. Welcome everybody to the regular session here. We'll start with the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alright. We'll have a chance to look at the last regular meeting minutes. Can I get a motion to approve those from the last meeting?
I'll give you a motion to approve.
A second.
All in favor? Carries. Alright, well, Angie, do you want to give a little rundown? Or
She said
for
it
that?
basically has everything. One thing she got to put is that they would provide porta potties around the areas. It will not cost the town anything at all. It's the second annual one. This one, last year, they only had 3 months to get together, the way I understand. This has been in the works for a while, but they wanted to bring it before the board and see what the board thought, what the board would agree to and stuff, if it was okay to do, and then take it to AEP. AEP is one that may be a sponsor and everything, but, you kinda gotta have things in rooted for things, but I pretty well know what she's kinda talked to me about a lot of it, so if you have any questions, you can ask, but basically what it was last year, but only a lot more organized with things and stuff, and, and having it at the park, it could be a lot cooler. And we had talked about a car show, we had the last one, having over here, on the streets or something. She can specify more stuff, but she said whatever the town said had to be done, of course, would be done, she does have a really good plan on things and has it timed out good, and she's got quite a few people lined up, but they gotta have the final say-so first, to be able to say that. And if she does wanna do it every year, that same weekend, to make it an annual thing, where it can kind of take place like the thing at Tell City all the time, I forget what it's called now, Schweitzer Fest, that kind of thing, where it can get it going, and then keep it going for generations, just that be a big thing to come into Grandview.
Right.
But, she said if you have any questions, please feel free to call her on any of it, but this kind of pretty well spells it out to what she's told me anyway.
Okay.
So is it gonna be at the fairgrounds or at the
At
park
the
here?
park here.
All of it's gonna be at the park, so they're not doing that at the fairgrounds. Okay,
It's a total different thing. The fairground has possession of that situation.
Yes.
Then they have a music folk fest out there though?
Yeah, last
So
year
they're
they
wanting
did.
to move away from there and go to our park?
Yeah, I don't think the fair board is involved in any way.
Okay.
That's my understanding. But yeah, have everything out there.
It'd be a Grandview thing.
Yeah, right,
So
it'd be a
it's-
Grandview
yeah.
thing.
How's the insurance work on that?
Well, the town has some insurance, but
Yeah.
any insurance for, I think,
So
or
they have
like-
to be bonded, I'm
yeah,
sure. or
yeah, she said that they would carry insurance too,
For
that they
bond.
would have to have too for anything. And,
So I guess in that sense, are they planning on using our facilities down there, or besides the electric, of course they need to plug in for that,
Yeah.
but.
electric and
Well-
water, yeah,
They said they're gonna, they're gonna bring portage on and stuff, but
yeah, they would.
I foresee, if, I'm all for the music festival, I think it'd be a good thing, but that being said, as far as the town goes, it says no cost to the town, but the town would have to do some stuff, I'm sure.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of work, prepping things that we got
Right.
going on.
Right.
So what
mowing,
I think what,
electrical,
Yeah.
support, are they gonna bring generators?
Yeah,
if
and
they
that
do
stuff,
this-
if it's agreed to, I think she said they'll do what they need to do.
I think they need like
That's
that.
why the town.
I would suggest a committee, or, somebody come and who become,
Tell us what they need.
well, here's our, I guess, our backwards planning, our timeline, this is what we need to do to get to where we, to this point,
Yeah.
and here's our steps we gotta take and, update
Yeah.
as we go monthly, so.
Yeah, and I
that
told
way
her
we
that,
know,
that
we know
it's
it's
be something
required
we
of
need
us
to,
too, if we
Yeah.
say yes, that I need to get done, or, you know,
Right.
yeah.
or if I need help, I need to reach out, say, I
Yeah.
can't do that all by myself.
And I
So they
told
have
her that, and she said that, you know, that's why she wanted to let you know that whatever the
baseball
town
field,
needed, they could
softball field.
change.
So,
some things.
they could, they could use that pole, but face it.
There's got electric there, no, we have,
Will they have
some type of,
generator though? Will they have?
Yeah,
She
that
told me whatever
dollar
it took,
thing
that
going.
she
we
would
have a
make sure it got taken care of.
distribution box type thing that we could hook up 220 and they could feed
There's
out from
plenty
that,
there.
right? I don't know if we have, I don't know what they call them here in the Army, they're called slave cables. You slave one vehicle to the other one,
Yeah.
right? If they have stuff long enough to run that stuff out there to the baseball field from the 220 outlets that are over on the concession stand,
Yeah.
do they have that? You know, they'd have to maybe provide some of these things.
Yeah, and that's, you know,
And
that's what she
weather-
said, was to just, yeah,
The weather with the softball field would be another factor.
Yeah.
If,
If it rains the week before, then
Week before.
that'd be,
well, and
So
I'm
they
sure that,
would they be good enough to be sitting on the basketball court in?
or we
still-
just shut down the street, you know,
Which
at that
is, and that's what we talked about for the car show.
yeah,
Use
Yeah.
4th Street from
yeah,
Sycamore to,
yeah,
you know, Church there, no, Locust, or Walnut.
Yeah.
And put the cars along that road, and it's all with the park, so people can walk to and from instead of going back and forth across
and
town.
she didn't remember exactly what it was, but she said what we talked about last
Yeah.
year and what, you know, we talked about, that would really work for them, you know, that would be a good thing for them to do, and it would be just better all the way around for the cars and everything.
It would, and you close everything down and just, they just gotta get in and out.
Because
I know
it-
last year we talked about doing a softball game or something too, and now that
then
probably
you have
wouldn't
like a
work with
wiffle ball,
this.
well, if you
But
do
you
a
could have-
wiffle ball, or kickball, or
With
stuff
this-
like that, where the cars can still be around,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
You could,
But there's
unless
a
there's
separate
stuff set up
stage
for
on the
music.
field.
Right,
Yeah,
Or you could
well,
probably
So-
set a little play thing up, I mean, there's plenty of room, and we
Yeah.
got the field across the way.
she told me that they were foreseeing, and like I said, it's a baseball field, so they may have to change their plans, but the baseball field is where they were planning on having a stage.
Yes,
Was gonna be
I
where
think
they
it'd be good.
Yeah, and she said because it kind of contains things there,
yeah,
and that just kind of
yeah,
helps
it's
all
already
of
gated
them.
off, you
Yeah,
don't have to worry about kind of,
and,
Access.
you know, she
Sign
apologized
it
over and over for
21
not being able to come, that was her plan, but,
well, I guess my only question is, do we charge, you know, our fee, cause we are gonna be using our our field rental fee, you know, that would be another thing. Do we charge that, do we not?
okay,
So, I mean, that would be totally up to,
well, like, again, she said whatever it took,
Yeah.
you know,
oh,
she just needed to know, she wanted basically
It
to
was
find
just
out if it was
committee,
okay to do it,
Not
and then
committee,
she'd go from there.
The planning, somebody needs to come and talk and just, hey, this
Yeah.
is the steps.
Well,
This is all pretty good information, I think,
Yeah, this is good.
but
the
a lot goes
detail,
into
more
it.
details, and I'm on that board, but again, this is what I know, what, you know,
Yeah.
except she gave me some pointers on, okay, this, and this, they would put in there. But,
Yeah.
but she does have a really good plan, and she's open, and she put on there, you know, any suggestions or anything, and I told her that I was sure some of you may call, because, especially you, because of different questions that you may have for things. And she's wanting, like the fire department, if they could, when they have a booth or something, she's wanting to include, there'll be food trucks, but she's wanting to include any non-for-profit things that wanna do it too, like the civics or that kind of thing, fire department, whatever she said, that would help out, you know.
well, since it'd be a town thing, you know, as far as getting, was that, like Fritz's place?
Yeah.
They could run a beer tent or something,
Yeah.
correct? And we can get, they have to do whatever steps they have to do to get to that point. I think that's stuff we would need to know well in advance, so they can
Yeah,
start
she's
applying for it.
done this entertainment stuff evidently for years on end.
Yeah.
And she knows the ins and outs of things, but again, she said, you know, if we can get it approved, then she's willing to do whatever, but she can come and take those questions, or call her and tell her things, and she can work around that, or change some things that need changed, and I'm sure there's gonna need to be things changed, but she just wanted, no, it could be done if y'all were okay with it, and for she could go ahead and start more process of
like
things,
you said.
but also she wanted, that, the cleanup, she said, they'll be responsible for cleanup, they'll have their own security, the whole thing. She said the whole 9 yards, they will have that. And even more so than it was at the fairground and everything. And then they'll have their own crew that comes in to take care of trash cans, all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Obviously, it's up to you all.
Okay.
I think a good point of contact is somebody to get in touch with.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably
With the
me.
chief captains are.
Yeah, and that's what I told
Way I
her.
can be tied into whatever's going on.
That's what I told her. I said,
Gotcha.
she said, well, if they could have maybe a private meeting about it, you know, just during the day, just a knowledge meeting, she was willing to do
And that's
that
one
too.
that they said
And
bring
she's a
all
very
these.
busy lady, but, yeah,
You
I mean, I was,
need a sign.
anything, she's very open to things, you know, and she just thought it was a really good thing to get going in Grandview. And I agreed, I think it would be a good thing if it could be planned out more than it was last year. It was just too much of a quick time. But, you know, it'll be something that people can start, no one's gonna have it every year on that weekend. So anyway, that's all she told me basically. I mean, just call her. She said, please call her on anything, and she's more than happy to work around whatever needs working.
I think all she needs to do is figure out what she thinks she needs, tell her what we have at the park, and then after we get a list, then we can figure out if we need to charge anything or not.
Yeah.
Is there any legal
it
matters to
simpler.
this, Andy, is there any kind of legal matter to what we're talking about right now, on anything at all?
Well, waiving fees would have to be, I think, a board action if you want to waive the fees. Otherwise, I think they'd have to follow the standard policy from whatever we would use for any other vendor. And then two, just, we can assume they have insurance and everything. I would just want to make sure that we can confirm that.
She said she would have.
Yeah.
Strongly, I've been involved.
Yeah.
In fact, I was involved when Ferdinand got sued in our sesquicentennial because somebody drunk had a
Yeah.
motorcycle
And I told her there
accident
would
and
have to
died.
be proof
and
of all
cost-
that.
And you want proof of insurance, plus you want the town insured on their behalf. There's a way they can do that you guys are covered. I mean, you have insurance, but you trust me, you want that additional insurance, and you want them to provide, and they can provide all the proof of insurance.
Yeah. So she asked me if I would call her tonight and just kind
That'd be
of
multi-line.
up on the questions and
Because
stuff.
they're saying bring your own booze and all that stuff, so
And they-
somebody leaves and gets hurt,
Yeah, and
it's on
that's,
us.
she said what kind of insurance it was, but
Trust me,
she said that, you know, that was she knew they had to have that, and she had a big long list of stuff that I don't know anything about, but, she was open to anything that had to be done, cause she knew that there would, you know, be some things. And I told her, well, you know, because we gotta cover the electricity and stuff, she said she understood that, you know, and that there could be arrangements made for what the board thought should be and stuff. And she said, you know, you being the town manager, that she could go over things and you could tell her what you thought would be best.
I mean, I
Could
really think just, you
Could
know,
she make a list out of what maybe the manager in town Grandview has to have? Or
What she expects out, yeah,
what she needs
yeah.
for us, or for,
yeah,
cause he's the man there, I mean, he's gonna be the one involved in most of it.
I guess,
And I'll be more than glad to help.
I guess,
Yeah,
you know,
me too.
the question is, you guys, something y'all wanna do, because, I mean, I think, from what I hear, the sports, like, yeah, let's just do it. Just the other question, we just get on the other side, right?
Right.
Right, and personally, I would tell her, you know, that, hey, if you wanna do it,
If it's
Yeah.
they need to know some more.
not a whole lot of work to it, I'd say.
I wouldn't think so, it sounds like they got a lot of crew, but that's just.
Yeah.
Like I said, we just need to know up front stuff that we need to get done.
I honestly have a, say truth, the generator that we have sitting in there is never used hardly. It wouldn't be a bad idea to bring it out and hook it up.
And run it a little while
Run it a
anyways.
little while. It'll run the whole thing.
Well, and then I don't know if you noticed, but she said there would be, first aid stations
Yeah,
all around
yeah,
it.
seen that in there.
She said also, I don't think she put it in there, I haven't read all of it, but cause we was gonna have camping down here, she said that she would hire somebody to bring in 2 big tanks of water. You know, of course, they'd have to have their own drinking water, but there would be water there for people if
Yep.
they needed it, you know, and it would be fresh water, it would come from, Florida Utilities, what I
Yeah.
understand. So, she just wanted me to mention that too, but
I think we're gonna table the decision on yes or no until we get that final list of what they
Okay.
need, but.
and I'll try to make,
March, next one won't be too long, will it, or too?
I'm sure it won't be all
I mean,
inclusive,
and
but
they can,
probably a better,
I mean, like I said, I think we're all like basically in order to say yes, but we just need to know what
Just need more details.
yeah,
on
we
it.
just need to
Know
know
what we're saying
what
yes to.
yeah, what we're gonna have to do and how much work that
Yeah.
we're gonna have to put into
Yeah,
it.
and I would suggest,
Insurance wise.
you know, logistics talk, and then also probably have JW just look at what their insurance is to make sure he's gonna know better than I would about whether there's gaps or
Yeah.
what our coverage would cover if something, you know.
I think she said she'd work with him on
Yeah.
some
You gotta
things.
cover the insurance, they don't cover the insurance.
I think if they could, if she's able to probably send whatever insurance information, that way they can probably go ahead and ask JW ahead of time, that way
Okay.
next meeting,
Yeah,
we already know that that's,
okay.
you know, works.
Yep.
That before you make a vote, you make sure the insurance is
Yeah,
right
what
where it
kind of
needs to be.
insurance, what their insurance will cover.
Right.
completely.
Because you can work around a lot of stuff.
Well, I know she
Not
had
that.
said something about versus, or
Yeah.
versus,
Yeah.
including something with them. I don't know any
Would that
statistics on
be
that.
better off for the town, like liability wise, to get rid of BYOB and do like a beer vendor?
No, because if you get it, what they're saying is with BYOB, then it's on them,
Bring it
right?
on.
It would come
But it
back
still
on,
falls back on us, don't it?
no, but not if they have that insurance.
If you're
See.
serving, and you serve them too many,
Right.
that's where that's
that'll fall
where it falls back.
But that'll fall on their liquor license.
Yeah, and she also
Right.
said,
I know,
it was in here
There you
about
But that'd
having
fall on
small
Fritz for
coolers,
serving
they
too
couldn't
much.
bring in these
Town
huge
wouldn't be,
coolers full of
Right.
stuff. If they were gonna
I
have
don't-
small coolers, and they would be checked.
I wouldn't think
Yeah.
so, but that's.
cause I mean, that,
I would,
on Saturday night, that's
I would,
a first, like,
it says,
Bruce serves you too much.
I would tell it too, I
He's
would
liable.
leave it,
He's in
no
trouble.
bottles, not
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
okay,
discourage,
Just-
no bottles.
just
That's
say
what-
no
that's
bottles,
what-
okay.
I think it'll
Bring
make
your
more
own
sense.
beers.
Okay, I'll tell her all this,
Oh, yeah,
and
it'd go over way better, BYOB,
Alright.
liability wise.
okay, I'll give her that and
Alright.
call her with any
I mean,
questions she said.
And they can still set up one, I guess, I mean, I don't know if it'd be too
Well,
much.
it wouldn't make sense to set up both, that's for sure.
No, probably
It'd
not.
be one or the other.
Well, they barred right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
if
she
you're
did,
bringing
she
your own
said
anyway,
that, you know,
If you can
so.
only have a small cooler, you bring your own, you're gonna go over here, go.
They just
fill
need
your
to have
back
some
up.
stocked up, ready to sell.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
But they
Alright,
just put a
well,
case in the back
yeah,
of the
well,
car.
Thanks.
hopefully we can get that taken
Yeah.
care of. Alright, trash and junk in yards, have any updates on that? I know it's been.
I haven't
snowing.
had too much,
Yeah.
luck or time to do much with that.
Weather.
Yeah.
Weather ain't got much to do with
We're gonna
it.
have a lot of junk after this river goes down.
Oh, no, I drove down to White Pond today and trash is blowing.
honestly,
Oh,
it's so wet, nobody can get in the yard to do anything right now.
Yeah. Gotcha. Alright, well, we're on to you, Sam, utility superintendent report.
I didn't have, really, I didn't make any notes, and I'm trying to remember everything I did, but, at the water tower, the only thing we had going on, I had to get a new backup power supply. The last one went out, it was just one of those little up systems. Finally got it put in, Rob did it, yesterday. Installed 2 new meters, those 2 houses just went up in Brockton Court. I mean, not a whole lot in the water, luckily. Other than that, the weather, I have been doing the leak reports, and I shut off three different people on Friday, and we were using probably 15 to 1,000 gallons extra a day that, you know, because of the cold. And here you go that way again. So I tell everybody, you know, I send out the message, put a drip on your faucet, unhook your stuff. But took there we get it colder than it has been, so hopefully we're not wasting a lot of water. We're going like 150,000 gallons a day. We're usually around 109, 120. We're still discharging the lagoon. Right now, that thing is about to overflow. And we are bringing in some water. The flooding, as you see all around town, down there is going to get higher. The boat dock's the only thing that may need some, I talked to you before, help on. I'm out of town Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I gotta go, my son graduates from Naval Boot Camp in Chicago, so I'll be in more cold weather.
So, on that part, you got a combination out there, you got a key out there?
For the boat dock?
No,
For
For
the,
the tractor,
The
you got
tractor?
inside or outside?
it's inside.
It's inside.
Walker's here, and he gets you in there.
Okay.
It's ready to go.
Okay.
Like I said, I just took the bucket off if you're gonna do what I
That'd be
said,
great.
and then that way it's easy to kinda maneuver around.
Is a bush
The
hog?
bush hog's in the
Alright.
shed right next to it. You'd have to hook it in
Okay.
for weight.
Cool.
Video broadcasting. We talked about it before. We get the camera here. It's supposed to stream live. Starting in July, it's mandatory for all of these type of meetings. Well, we're streaming live right now to YouTube. So everybody say hey. There's about a 10-second delay if you're watching it. This is not put out to everyone. If they know how to find it, they can find it right now. But it's will be on YouTube for a minimum of 90 days. I don't see why I delete them. I just leave them on there. But this is something we're going to do every meeting now. And anybody who cannot come here and wants to see what's going on, obviously they have the opportunity now to see the meeting.
Nancy can just watch the video. And Nancy can watch a video and find out what.
Right.
All questions, there
Well,
you
yeah,
go.
she could look at it right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to delete it, so it's on there. She's going to look at
Okay,
it.
I'll make sure she knows that.
Even though this is a trial. Truck. I need to start looking for a new truck for Walker. That thing is on its last leg. It leaks more oil than it holds. Headlight won't stay on. I mean, things don't work. Heater, air conditioner, steering wheel. If you look at it, it's a metal ring.
As long as we've had that.
It's half a metal ring. But yeah, I know it's spending money, but he is going to need something for too long before that thing goes down. I mean, we'll use it as long as we can, but I want permission to start looking for a good deal on one. Not necessarily like mine, but like boxes like mine, and maybe not the back piece, the middle piece, but side boxes.
Utility most.
Utilities on the side, but it's still open, so we put something in the back.
Yeah.
But we need something.
Used or I guess.
Used is fine. New to us,
Maybe you.
but we need something different than what he has. And it probably wouldn't hurt to get a little bit bigger size because all this equipment that we pull around, his will struggle pulling like the back hook,
Or is
the
it a
mini and all
ton?
that. His is, yeah.
Is it a half ton?
Yeah, half ton.
Oh,
It's half ton.
Half ton.
You're gonna say it, huh?
It is half ton.
Okay.
It won't, like the excavator, that thing
Yeah.
want to drag.
On that, I'm sorry. On that, we would do like we have in the past and with vehicles when we've got something in, where we put it for the bids
I don't know how that.
type thing.
I don't know.
Depends on what the cost is.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume you're anticipating less than $50,000.
Yeah, I am.
Well, that's up to you about. I mean, that's discretionary. But if it goes over a threshold, then you'd have to formally mail out and solicit at least 3 bidders or 3 quotes for 3 trucks. But if you're going to be under that amount, then you can.
For the old truck?
No, for buying the new truck.
But the old truck, that's what I meant. I mean, that was good information, but.
Yeah, you need to declare. We'd have to declare it surplus, but I wouldn't do that until you.
Yeah.
Right. So
No, my intent was to find the cheapest thing going that we could use, but obviously, I don't know what truck prices are right now, especially utility fleet trucks, fleet sales. It's New Year. If there's a 23 or something sitting out there that's got dents in it that nobody wants to get rid of, I'll take it, right? Or nobody can get rid of it. But I just want to bring it up. I'm gonna start looking, and I'll bring it to you obviously before I can. Hey, here's the deal I found, or a couple. I may have to do it via text or email, or if we're not having a meeting, I don't know. The deal comes up next week, and we don't meet for a month. I don't know. I have to get it to you somehow. But I just want permission to. Hey, I'm gonna start looking.
I would, if you're wanting for, I guess, discretion to buy a vehicle, then you probably need to vote on that because you can't just say, hey, via email, let's go ahead.
Could the vote be?
I would probably.
I found this deal pending a yes from them, but the vote would be for me to be able to look. And
I mean, what I would say is if you probably should give Dakota discretion to authorize you to buy a vehicle up to, and that way, he's not going to do it unless you've told him, hey, we have to get this done. But I don't want you to go buy something without.
I don't really expect to start looking like anytime real soon, but I didn't wanna say, well, the thing fell in my lap, and now I gotta wait for a meeting.
Right.
It's getting that bad, you know.
The oil leak is getting worse and worse, and it's old, they've had that thing, I don't know how long.
Well, it's better to go ahead and find something
Yeah.
than let it go to where it's not working no more, and then we have to rush and find
And
something.
speaking of that, I think mine's still great, but I think I'd probably get a good service on it, you know, by the professionals, to make sure it keeps going longer. That's another thing I'd like to do, but, you know, I'm good right now. And again, if we can do that, again, I'm not looking right now, but
Yeah.
I do need to start, keep my eye open. If you all ever see something too, by all means, let me know.
At least a ton and
I
utilities.
think at least a ton utilities, yeah.
Now, I mean, I don't know how quick this would have to move, but I mean, if you don't wanna do the contingent thing, you could always call a special meeting if you get 3 of you down here. If
Yeah.
that's 4 to 8 hours, I wouldn't imagine that it's gonna be.
It's up to you all now.
Pretty much agreeing to it anyway, that one, or not?
Yeah. I mean,
We gotta
It
do
just
what we gotta
always
do.
depends on how much, you know.
Yeah, of
You know,
course, but I'm just
There's up
saying,
to a certain amount.
if Sam's
That's
saying
what we're
it's
giving
about
them
ready to go
okay,
down, and it,
I don't know
Keith,
what price
Keith
we'll
said the
give
same
them, but
thing, what, a few years ago,
Yeah.
he said it's about
I
ready to
think
go.
my new
I
truck
mean,
for work was like 70 grand, so.
I mean, it has its problems, I mean, it runs,
It's a
it
gas
does,
freak,
but
it's-
We just got too many.
it could go any day, I guess, but
Yeah,
it
they're like
could run for another
70.
2 years.
It's the boxes,
So, yeah, I mean,
Those Meyer
whatever.
boxes.
See, but
All we gotta do.
the issue now, I would just say, if it goes over, I think it's 50,000, they might have moved it to 60,000, but if it's in that range, you're gonna have to solicit quotes, you can't just go out and buy one.
Okay,
You
well,
have to go to 3 dealers.
my
ask them.
intent would be to stay under anything, I need to get quotes, that way if I find a deal, I ain't gotta go
Was
way
that brand
around.
new? Was that brand new trucks or
Those
was it?
were 2024s. We got
Yeah,
them
mine
very
was
end.
brand new too.
How much?
Yeah, so
My new
they've
work
already
truck was
spent,
like 75 grand.
for their.
But we got Meyer
60
boxes
to
and all that.
75, so, I mean, they got.
I got a ladder rack and 3/4 ton.
Same here.
Yeah, so,
Like you say, you might find
so
something
you're already gonna be past
that
that
one owner
threshold.
and not be so bad.
It's gonna be, if you're gonna get nice boxes on it, it's gonna be expensive.
How about, can we do it like, if I'm able to say, find a deal underneath the threshold,
50.
you can say it, yes, and if I can't find it, and then
You go from
we need the special session.
So what's that number? Under 50?
Well, I don't know, 150, no.
Under 50.
Under 50.
You're riding around a Rolls Royce.
BMW is what they ride in Europe.
That'd be a boom truck too. Or almost.
there. So we need a motion for that and to do
Yes.
that.
Yeah, if you wanted to give him discretion to purchase a vehicle under the $50,000 threshold, I don't know if you want to give him direct or have Dakota check off, you can.
I'd rather
Or
have
if you guys
somebody
want
check off,
Yeah, somebody needs to
or
look,
somebody
make sure.
will get it, yeah, don't matter if it's Dakota or anybody else, but
Mhm.
somebody, it's not my say.
Well, does somebody wanna make that motion to give me the authority?
I'll make a motion to give Dakota authority to okay sand binding truck under 50K.
I need
I'll
a second. All in favor?
There's my vote. Alright.
And then I know we have funds inside the motor vehicle highway, so it's there.
Alright.
Okay, obviously weather's salt, I'm probably gonna be pre-salting tomorrow, there's no exact number prediction, you know, it's up and down. Hopefully it's on the downside.
1
Anywhere.
In our area.
Yeah, right.
0.
So, we're probably gonna throw out, tomorrow night, throw down some salt, and, I'll let Walker come in and we'll maybe do some pushing if we need to tomorrow, but Walker do most of the pushing on Wednesday, and hopefully it does it. You know, it'll get the roads cleaned out, there's not much salt, ice, so it should be good. We did get salt in, so we're good, got plenty of it. I did get a complaint, another rooster complaint, for a different house. I went and talked to them, they intend to get rid of it, they're rehoming it, so to speak, and it's just gonna take them a week or so. Not that one, but that one there was going off. I was looking for a water meter over there the other day, and that thing didn't like me in the
It
yard.
goes off in the morning.
Yeah, but that's not the one.
When the dog's out there.
It's further down, same road. And like I said, but anyways, it should be handled. Hopefully it is, and if they get rid of it until the next one, which should probably be a year and they're going behind you.
It won't be for me, but it will be there.
Yeah. Other than that, like I said, I'll be gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so Walker will be the guy here if y'all need anything.
Well, if he needs anything, tell him don't hesitate to call.
Well, that's why I bring up the water, flooding in the water, weather, just in
Yeah.
case he can reach out to somebody.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Alright, anything for fire department report?
That,
Anything for fire department report?
no, other than the siren, we talked about earlier, it's sitting in the garage right now. It's a lot bigger than I kinda envisioned, right? We're gonna have to see where it's gonna go. We might need to take a trip out there, I'll go out there and look and see what we can put it on, or if we need a new pole or something else. Yeah,
How high does it have to set?
I don't know, I just seen one, I went down to had to go to Evansville the other day, and I seen one sitting on Newburgh off of,
Like 15 feet off the ground.
it's a lot higher than that.
That one is.
Yeah. But,
Usually 30, 40 feet off the ground, I'd say, or more.
I don't know how loud it is, but if it's as loud as it looks like it's gonna
It
be,
needs to be up there,
you guys are gonna be hurting.
That's a
I
good
might
one.
have noise complaints.
Alright. Anything else for parks? I know we talked about that music festival that we need to talk about, but other than that, anything else?
Do we have a price for the field and the concession stand? If someone wanted to rent that out.
I think there's a concession stand price.
There is.
I think it's two separate prices, isn't it?
There's
Laid out.
the two overheads. I think they're free. Honestly, we have never charged anything. But I think the concession stand is the price. Is that not like $150 or something?
We talked about
Or we
we
talked
talked about
that's what it
starting
was.
one.
Yeah, I
and-
don't think there's anything official
No.
right now.
As far as what I know on record, there's not.
I don't think there
But
is.
on the field, we did get one for that, didn't we?
I think so.
I haven't seen anything on end, but maybe in one of these books that I don't know about.
Yeah, I think you did find it in one of those books. I can't remember the prices though.
I'll have to look some more.
'Cause it was-
Price, but
Yeah.
I
I was
something
thinking
like
it was like $250 or something for everything, but I can't
Well,
quote that.
and, there may be something, because the electricity and everything make like a lump sum to where it's basically covering everything. I mean, that's an ideal, but that may be something we want to think about doing.
because of the water and
Do you remember what it was, Marty? You
Cover
remember
all the electricity.
doing that? I can't remember.
Because we were trying to refurbish the concession stand at the time, we were pretty much just giving them the field for free
Yeah,
and then trying to recoup it
yeah,
through the concession stand.
right.
But that was 7 years ago. 8
Right.
years ago.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's been a while since. Because obviously we don't charge anybody for using shelters or anything
Right.
like that, so that's definitely not. But concession stand, because they're using our lights,
Right.
our facilities,
Yeah.
so.
They'd be
Yeah, I can't-
occupying the field for
And this was,
The entire
what she
day.
gave you was just a rough draft basically something to go off of.
Right,
I
yeah.
think she
Yeah,
expects
for
quite
sure.
the changes.
So, I can't remember. That might be something that if we can't find it,
Do we got a parks folder somewhere?
yeah.
Pretty sure we do.
And if we can't find it, then we just have to kind of come up. We need to figure out what Rockport maybe charges for.
Evanston.
Evanston is more like us. It has one field, so
Right.
see what they kind of charge for.
I'll
Yeah.
maybe talk to John and Chris and see what he used to charge for.
Yeah, that would be another one that's like
One
us.
field.
Yep.
type
So yeah, we'll have to reach out if we can't find.
Right.
Yeah, we'll reach out to those two fields and see kind of what they have in their paperwork. Our treasurer's report?
Oh, never mind.
What was you up to?
No, I was just gonna say one more thing about the park. Like, when it gets closer to, the warmer weather, I wouldn't mind having like putting it in a paper, at least put it in a paper and seeing how many kids would love to play kickball or,
Yeah.
from,
Do like a family day.
yeah, or something like that and, hell, hot dogs and hamburgers
Get some
maybe.
use out of it.
Yeah. At least get
Just
some use
quick.
out of it. That's
Yeah.
I've been saying that for a
Quick,
few years now, but
Yeah.
if we get it in the paper and get a number out there, they can use my number or whoever number. I mean, I know I'm not on the parks board, but, I would love to jump in and help if I could on that part. You know, get some kids
Yep.
out of their house, you know?
And I've noticed last summer, more and more people did start using it, and families on the weekends. I mean,
Yeah, I've
that's
seen a few
you know,
people down there.
that's what we need to use our parks.
And
That's
I
what they're for.
suggested, John, would, put a machine, would not, that wouldn't go over, or not? Now, that'd be a rental thing there, though.
Yeah, that's a pretty big field for like a pitching machine league.
Okay.
Because most of those leagues are on 200-foot fields, so I mean, you'd have a lot of
I was just,
space, and then I'm sure you'd have to carry insurance and stuff like that, because you'd be liable.
Now
That
that doesn't
machine
stay
league.
locked down there, does it? The field part.
Oh, no, not the
Because
field, no.
I mean, I've seen your daughter go down and practice, and they, you know,
I was just looking.
to let people know that they can do that. You know, that's
Yeah.
something they can do. It's not just for certain
We do have
things.
an
you know.
electrician on board now, so they
Now, having a machine that we can rent out for practices and stuff might not be a bad idea.
yeah.
Yeah. Cause I think a couple have reached out to us for,
Yeah.
Well, you know, some machines are baseball and softball together.
We may be able to
That's
get
fine.
donations for that from different, you know, like Moses does things sometimes
Yeah.
for us and stuff. We may be able to do that because it's a community thing.
And the price wasn't that high, just getting electricity from one spot to the other underground to keep, you know. I was just, that's something I said a couple years ago.
That's what I keep thinking. I've already got to put up the siren, now I got to put up
While
the
you're there.
pitching machine. What are you gonna do?
You come to my house out there in the country if you want.
okay.
But anyways,
Got an oven too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it. Gotta wire it up still too.
Clerk treasurer's report.
All I have,
Change the subject, hey?
Yeah, no problem.
all I have were the financials. Didn't have anything big going on. And I just need a motion to accept.
Can I get a motion to accept financials?
I will make a motion to accept the financials
Wait a
for
sec.
last month.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Carries 5-0, thank you.
Stacy, thank you for that readout. That really helped me understand some things.
Yes, I got that wrote down to do that every month to make sure I get it put in the packet, so.
Alright, while we're signing those, if you wanna go ahead and give your update.
Yeah, so I wanted to quickly update you on the solar litigation. I'm sure some of you saw on social media, you know, people talking about it. There was a ruling, so to give a recap of where we were, because I know some of you were new on the board or it's been a while, so it's easy to forget. But originally, the Judge Verkamp, ruled on a motion for summary judgment, meaning we essentially argued that there was no legal claim that could be made based off the facts that were stipulated to. Like, even if you took all their facts as true, they could not make a claim under the law that would be successful. Judge Verkamp agreed and granted our motion for summary judgment. That was appealed and to the Court of Appeals, which at that level, everybody gets an appeal to the Court of Appeals. They have to take the appeal, an automatic first level of kind of scrutiny to double check and see what happened. That level of Court of Appeals reversed Judge Verkamp and said, listen, there was probably something that you should have heard more evidence. There was a claim that could have been made. Your ruling was premature. Basically, go back and start again. So I know some people on social media were commenting that the lawsuit has been won. Basically, it means we're back to square one at the trial level. So we do have a couple options, and I don't have any advice about what we're supposed to do yet. I haven't talked to Mr. Beeman. I don't know. You were here when Alex Beeman was here, but essentially insurance gave us counsel. And so he's, you know, I'm going to defer to him. This is what he does all the time, you know, in terms of appellate and civil litigation, things like that. But I've not met with him about what we need to do or what he's going to advise us to do. so I don't have any advice about that. But basically, we have two options. One is asking for the Supreme Court of Indiana to review the Court of Appeals decision. And that level of appeal is not mandatory, meaning the Supreme Court of Indiana can say, no, we're going to let that decision stand, we don't want to take a look at it, and then you're stuck with that decision by the Court of Appeals. Or the Supreme Court of Indiana can say, yes, we'll take it up, we're going to review it, and we're going to double check and make our decision and either agree or disagree with the Court of Appeals. So that's not a guarantee, but it is something that you can do. And again, I don't know what we should do yet. I haven't talked to Alex, but that is one option. And that deadline, I believe, is in mid-March. Alex put it on the calendar as the deadline, but we haven't discussed whether we're going to file it or not. And he would be filing it anyway. So that is an option. And then the other option is essentially to say, okay, we're going to let that Court of Appeals decision stand, and now we're back with Judge Verkamp, back to square one, and he's just going to hear more evidence, essentially, and have a fuller ruling. Because his ruling was kind of, not preemptive, but it's a mechanism where you can shortcut litigation where there isn't really an argument about the facts. We have to go back, hear evidence, do a full-blown hearing, witnesses, exhibits, things like that. And essentially, he'd have guidance from the Court of Appeals about what the law stated in that case. So those are essentially the two paths. Either ask for the Supreme Court to look at it, or back to the trial court and let them look at it. So, again, it's not won or lost, but it is what it is. So once I met with Mr. Beeman, I'll get with you guys. We might need to have an executive session. I don't know, but we're that's just the background. So I don't have an answer for you. You don't have to take any action today. Just wanted to make sure you got something a little bit more substantive than what's going on Facebook.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for that. Anybody got anything else?
I was just gonna mention this right.
I'm Bobby Hagan. I live on 625 10th Street. This is my neighbor Keenan. And we've got concerns with the waterway behind our house. It's no matter, I know we had a lot of rain here lately, but it doesn't matter when it rains. It puddles there and stays there because the house to the east of him, the land is too high and it doesn't even make it to the drain. So besides being, the water spreads out and then there's an electrical box behind my house, the green one on the ground. It runs, it's all around it. It's already, this time, of course, it was excessive. It pushed the lead up off the water meter, so it's completely off of it. And so, and then you got the concern of disease and mosquitoes. And so, anyhow, we feel like, we need something to maybe be done. There was never cut right, and it can't get to the drain. Even as high, as much water as we got, it didn't even get high enough to where it could even go to the drain at all. So it just lays there and floods both of our backyards.
You're on the south side?
It comes up
I'm on the south, we're on the south side.
Walker, right?
Right next to Walker, and it floods his place
Yeah,
too.
it does, yeah.
And, but the lady on the end, which is his mother-in-law, that's the property that's too high.
Yeah.
And there's a drain right at the end of that.
Okay.
It dips down right there, but it's gotta come up over that.
Okay, we need to get drained out a little bit here.
Is there any property that's town property, or is this all private property?
It's along the easement right there, where all the utilities run back through there. Water line, you live on the same street.
Gas and all of it runs up there, yeah.
Everything runs back there, which is not a good thing to be the water. And I see it does water sit back there, but as far as I haven't really looked at it and seen it. I just know it puddles up, but I didn't know how bad
Yeah,
it
he's right, because it floods back behind ours too, not as bad because Bill has, made trenches and stuff, but it's the way it goes up, it can only go
What
up.
really hurts too, it don't help us any, is where the Nelson boy lived at, which is on the other side of Walker.
Yep.
They leveled all that land.
They leveled it out. It's
Setting up
filled it
pretty high.
in.
Yeah.
And one of the guys that helped was the town, boss. He was, on the fire department also, and the Nelson boy lived there at the time. Him and Trent Nelson, they're the ones that filled it in. So anyhow, that's beside the point, but the water will, even if it comes from that way, it all puddles right there behind us.
Between those three houses, that's where it sets.
And there's a drain over there it's not getting to.
Right, on the very east end.
It just needs a way to get to the drain.
Exactly.
And is there a way to clean that out? Is there plenty of space back there to get a mini excavator?
Just like make a little ditch, right?
Yeah,
that's all we really
That's
need.
all we need. And it's actually from like, part on him on over to the east.
Yeah.
He's a little higher than I am, and I'm the lowest of the bunch.
Yep.
And the highest is on the very end where the drain's at.
Okay. I need to go look at it, obviously, and with where it's sitting right now, if it's underwater, I probably can't do nothing right now.
Yeah, I understand.
I need to go look at it and we'll get some warm weather. And obviously, I'm gonna call some of my. Somewhere on 10th Street. I'll get some of the people.
You know where Jordan Sheets used to live?
Yeah, across the street.
I'm right across the street from Jordan Sheets.
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
And he's right to the east of me.
Both of us.
Yeah. We go over and look
And
at
then
it.
Walker
together.
Jewell lives
Somebody's
on the west
been
side.
around this stuff a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of times. He's still engineer.
The 350.
Yeah.
Whoever developed that,
But
very good.
I do know there's a drain system back
It's
there.
always been a lot of water.
Yeah. I do know there's a drain system back there.
Right.
And it sounds to me, I know there's one further down, it sounds like.
It can't get to the west
It can't get to
end.
either side of it, right?
Right.
Okay.
Mine and Ryan's.
But it would be more entailed to go to the west.
Yeah.
Because of all the fences and
Yeah.
everything else. But there would be no problem to go to the east.
Okay.
The drain right there.
I'll look at it.
You talking about a drain system in the right of way?
Mm-hmm.
No, there's already a drain back there.
That's what it's built for.
The short drain's already back in there.
There's grates back there.
Yeah.
Like,
But the problem is,
Can't get through.
I know there's one over back behind.
This here's right next to the street.
Yeah, there's a couple over, but he's got his low spot, and he built that one ended up, and he can't get to that drain. It's made almost like a little trench ditch or something.
The flow gets stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know right now, but I just wanted to bring it up,
Yeah.
see if
Okay, yeah.
something could be maybe done.
And that's part, and that's part of.
And it's always been that way.
Really?
Out there,
that's
I
all.
think towards you, it drains pretty good, doesn't it?
I've dug enough dirt, yeah.
It drains a whole lot better than it used to. We actually got okay to be able to grade it off some.
Yeah.
And we had to grade it off some, and it drains better on our end, but there's that one area where it just stays there, but it does drain out to the road better. It's
Yeah,
just-
is there any way that could get, I don't know much about it, that green box, electrical box?
That there you have to, that'd be whoever that.
I know water gets all around it.
Well, I mean, we fix the drain.
Yeah, you fix it, that'd be it, they take care of it.
You take care of it.
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
It'd be the utility company, whoever owns that box.
Yeah, that would, yeah, if we get rid of the water, it wouldn't be no problem.
Okay.
And there's plenty of room there on each end.
That's electric.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I thought you were talking about those little square ones that they've been putting.
All right.
I'll look, see if I can.
Okay.
You look at it, I'll look at it.
I guess everybody got one of these right here. That's the dock, it's how it's gonna be built. That's, the front one is gonna be the guide, more of a guide for it. That way you don't have to use no straps. Hook the tractor right here at the tip. And these two right here at the bottom will be hooked to the dock itself. That way there won't be no give to it, it'll turn. And once we get the swivel wheels on it, and that'll be the swivel wheels right here on the next page. It'll swivel right there on, where you see it, it shows one way, then it'll show the other way, and that's gonna swivel. And the third page, I think, is the wheels itself, and they're solid. They ain't the type that's on it right now, but they're solid. And he said he would give a warranty of, as long as a big log or something like that, there would be a warranty to it. So here's where more of a swivel right there.
Yeah.
That's gonna swivel right there. But anyways, it's gonna be, it needs to swivel. But, as of right now, that's the only estimate we got. It's been too messy and nasty anyways, and the other one ain't got to us yet, so.
That's a pretty good, I mean, the concept of it's pretty good though. And
Yeah,
that will
it's
take
gonna-
care of
he said-
making it easier to get it out of there.
I don't get a vote, but I take it yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I figured
that's
that's
why
what.
they're working on it all the
That
time.
swivel would have been nice, wouldn't it? But anyways, I know it's pricey on this one, but he said that if it gets done, or, less hours in it, the price will come down. I mean, he did tell me that. I mean, other than that,
So if it
I
goes
can have
quicker
it-
than what he's thinking, then it'll go and.
yeah,
be
yeah.
A little bit cheaper.
Well, I think it's gonna be cheaper anyways, I'll be honest with you, cause when he first come down there and told us about it, or talked to me about it, I explained to him it took them like a day and a half. He said, it should take us but a day. So, and on his estimate, he put, half a day or a day in the garage and a day out there, so,
Yeah.
and 3 people.
Yeah.
So, we'll see, if
This
we
is
get
the
it.
removal, right? You attach
That-
it.
That's gonna be nice.
It's gonna go to those ends, pieces where the presses are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna hook some hook to the, both corners, where that's just gonna take it anywhere, any direction you want.
That'd be nice.
So basically, this isn't like a rubber, it's
It's a solid, it is solid rubber.
It is, but
And it,
there's no inner tubes type thing.
no.
Okay,
no.
that's what I'm.
Now, inside there's supposed to be a river bearing, that goes in it. Well, he probably knows more about the river bearings and stuff like that, it's probably,
Well, they're
sealed,
Yeah.
they're sealed,
Yeah.
where water can't get to them,
Well, those are gonna last forever.
they should last forever.
Nothing lasts forever.
Well,
That's
I'm
what
just
they're-
saying,
that's
You
what
get the
they're
same
doing.
blasted in the river.
a big tree come through there, and
Yeah.
it's,
But I mean,
the whole,
a whole lot better than what was on there.
No,
we got insurance. I think Donna said we got insurance on the dock, so if it does happen, there's insurance for the dock too, so, I mean, I don't know what they pay, but I just wanna let you, I told you I'd get that for you, and I did, which I did have it the day after the
So,
meeting.
You wanna vote on it?
Are we needing a vote, or are we wanting? what do we
That's
want
up
to
to
do?
you, the weather's
I mean,
still,
I mean, you two are working on the
well,
pricing,
I
so.
didn't bring the estimate now, I mean, I didn't
Well,
bring
we can
that
just, we'll just table it, well, they're not gonna work on it right now.
No.
Yeah, so maybe I
We'll
can
just-
get that other quote, I'd like to get a second quote.
Yeah.
Just to see if they're anywhere close.
We
So,
still,
yeah, we'll just-
March, we need to get it in at the end of May.
Since I did all the
Yeah.
work, if they're
He said
anywhere
2 days,
Yeah, we'll get it, we'll get it
but
done.
no, it's gonna take a day, he won't take those 2 days.
If we don't get another quote by next meeting, then we'll vote
I
on
think you
it.
know anyways, right?
Alright,
I don't know him now myself, but I just know when he talked to me down there, he sounded like he knew what the heck he was talking about, but anyways, I'm good. Thank you, sir.
thank you. Alright, anything else? Alright, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I guess second.
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed, thank you.
Thanks, Sam, for getting going for this.